Okay, so today we're going to do a deep dive into Struck by Lightning, Saved by Grace. And we're working with the author's introduction and the first 14 chapters of their book.
All right, so we're going to try to understand all the big turning points in this really intense story
Yeah.
of addiction and homelessness and trauma and a really unique spiritual journey.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Just from the title, Struck by Lightning, Saved by Grace,
Right.
it makes you think about like literal and figurative shocks
Yeah.
that lead to like this ultimate salvation.
Yeah.
And the author talks about navigating her own personal hell
Right.
through what she calls divine lightning awakenings and this inner resilience that she found.
Yeah.
And she had to do all of this while grappling with undiagnosed ADHD and autism
Wow.
and the huge hormonal shifts of menopause.
Oh, yeah.
So let's go back 7 years to where the author starts.
Okay.
She's a mother, she's a substitute teacher, she's living near Dallas,
Mm-hmm.
but she says that internally she was feeling super lost.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's like she's got this very normal life on the outside, but something's really off.
Right.
And I think what's so interesting is all this hidden weight that she was carrying.
Yeah.
It wasn't just her own children. You know, she was helping raise her sister's kids and then her mom's adopted children.
Wow.
So it's like this constant drain on her.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then on top of that, she's got these differences that later she finds out are ADHD and autism.
Right.
So she's struggling with focus and just like the everyday things in life, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and even with all of this internal chaos going on,
Yeah.
she still describes this strong spiritual connection, but it wasn't traditional at all.
Really?
Like she felt really close to God, the earth, the universe,
Okay.
but she didn't connect with organized religion.
Interesting.
And then menopause hit.
Oh, boy.
And she says it was way more than hot flashes.
Yeah.
It was like this wholly disruptive thing that messed with her thoughts and like even her sense of self.
They have this huge internal earthquake. And when you think about all of those pressures,
Yeah.
like all of those responsibilities, plus this undiagnosed neurodivergence.
Which can make you feel even more out of sorts, right?
Exactly. And then the hormones on top of that,
Yeah. Okay.
it created this like vulnerability, you know?
Oh, for sure.
And she was trying to find comfort. She was looking for answers in books. She wanted these stories that reflected like the real messiness of life.
Yeah. But she couldn't find what she was looking for.
No.
So she started to get pulled into what she calls the shadows.
Oh, wow. And this is where she starts embracing the darkness.
Yeah.
And using meth.
Right. At this time, she had an empty nest and she had lost her job.
Oh, wow.
So she finds this weird comfort and acceptance in the darkness.
That's really heavy.
Yeah. And then she has this huge realization that she is her own devil.
Wow.
Like she understood that all of this internal suffering that she was feeling was coming from herself.
It's a powerful moment.
And she even started to connect her own struggles with the struggles of Jesus. She saw his journey as relatable to what she was going through with all of this change and feeling like nobody understood her.
Yeah.
For 5 years, she injected meth,
Wow.
trying to numb herself and escape.
Yeah.
And because of that, she was totally disconnected from her soul. She even lost memories, like she forgot her own children.
That's devastating.
And it's so weird because even though she was destroying herself, she was still trying to help other people.
It just shows how complex addiction can be. Right?
Absolutely.
And she talks about experiencing this empathic overload, like she would get overwhelmed by other people's emotions,
Oh, wow.
especially when she was gambling.
Oh, interesting.
And she started having really disturbing visions, and she felt this like deep connection to the planet's suffering.
It sounds like everything was just getting more and more chaotic.
Totally. And that inner voice
Yeah.
just kept getting louder and more negative and pulling her further down.
It was like her own worst enemy.
Yeah. And then comes this huge betrayal.
Yeah, she gets hit with a felony charge.
She was robbed over and over. She just felt worthless, and then she lost her job at Amazon because of COVID.
That's got to be so defeating. You know, you're finally getting back on your feet. And then,
It's all gone.
yeah, it just shows how quickly things can change.
Right. And then she gets set up during a traffic stop.
It's really scary.
Like she refused to help them with some retail fraud thing, and they accused her of having drugs.
And the worst part is they were not even her drugs.
Right. It was a total setup.
It's just awful. Someone planted pills on her, and the cops didn't even do a proper search.
They didn't have a female officer.
And she had a panic attack.
Oh, gosh.
And then the planted evidence fell out of her bra during a strip search.
Oh, no.
So, of course, they thought she was guilty.
Right, because it looked that way.
But the drugs weren't even on her when she got to jail.
Right.
But they still charged her with trying to distribute drugs in the facility.
It's just crazy how easily the system can work against you.
And then they transferred her to Dallas County Jail.
In one of those cage trucks.
Just dehumanizing. Yeah. But then she got released on a PR bond.
So that must have been a huge relief.
Yeah. But her Rolex was gone. It was a gift, and it was supposed to help her get off the streets.
Oh, wow.
And then her own sister's associates totally betrayed her and left her stranded.
Oh, no.
She ended up having to trade her ID for places to stay.
Geez, she was desperate.
And then this guy tried to kill her. He
Well,
pulled a gun on her, he choked her, he assaulted her, and then he ran her over with his car.
oh my God, that is terrifying.
It's just a horrible example of the violence that homeless people face.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is she survived,
That's incredible.
but they didn't treat her well at the hospital. They just stapled up her head and threw her out on a bench.
Even though she had all these other injuries,
She had broken bones and a cracked sternum,
it's just unbelievable.
but she had this voice inside her telling her to get up and walk.
Wow.
And that was the turning point.
She was homeless for weeks, relying on strangers, and then she missed a court date because of all the COVID restrictions, and they put her back in jail.
It's like the pandemic was just another obstacle.
Right, and the system just keeps pulling her back in.
Yeah.
She spent 2 months in jail, and that's when she realized that she had trauma-induced amnesia,
Oh, wow.
and she finally got diagnosed with ADHD and autism.
So she finally understood why she had always felt different.
Right.
But they told her they couldn't help her.
Yeah, the system's so broken.
Then she got COVID in jail, and they put her in quarantine.
It was awful overcrowded, and nobody knew what was going on.
So what did she do?
She started cleaning obsessively as a way to cope.
Oh, wow.
And then she read about Carla Faye Tucker, and there was this line that just hit her, "The sun will set you free."
And that's when everything changed.
Yeah, they let her out of quarantine immediately.
Wow.
And then they transferred her to a unit that was focused on rehab.
So that's good, right?
Yeah, it was a turning point, and she even got to go up on the roof.
Like she could see the sky again.
Yeah, it was amazing. And she ended up pleading guilty to a misdemeanor to get out of jail faster.
So she chose freedom.
And they finally released her. It was like a brand new start.
So we just went through this incredibly intense journey, right?
It's dark, it's full of betrayal, but there's also this glimmer of hope that emerges.
Yeah. And there are so many key takeaways.
Trauma, addiction, searching for yourself.
And that image of the demon tree and feeling electricity.
Oh yeah, and don't forget about that message she read in quarantine.
The sun will set you free.
It's so powerful. I think the biggest aha moment is that inner voice.
And those unexpected moments of guidance that just appear.
Yeah, and it makes you think about resilience and the possibility of grace, even after going through something so horrible.
It really does. What do you think is the most powerful part of her story?
I think it's how she found strength from within and how she never gave up on searching for meaning, even when things were so bad.
Yeah, I think that's something we can all learn from.